Monday, January 29th, 11:35 a.m. Mountain Time, 2018. Guys, I've got some new water pictures to share with you. Actually, lack thereof. It's the absence of water showing up again. It is now, at least from our observations and perspective, a global phenomenon because it's in both the western and eastern hemispheres. It's been observed now in both hemispheres. Probably other places around the world, we just have not seen the pictures yet. What you're looking at here is obviously a flooded community. This is in France. And I'm I don't know, something is telling me that there's more to this flood than an abundance of historic rainfall. Depending on which story you read, and I've read a few about these rains in France, this one here talks about months worth of rain. The next story talks about weeks worth of rain. In fact, it says from December 1st of 2017 to January 21st of 2018, the city, they're talking about Paris, weathered more than 7 inches of rain. That's double what they're normally used to in a typical year. But 7 inches of rain for the Seine River in 51 days, that's the time frame we're talking about, shouldn't create such dramatic flooding to where thousands of people are evacuated for an extended period of time. So I don't know what to make of this. You know, I watch the weather charts all the time, and I have not seen any type of rain anomalies per se over in the Paris, France region. But anyway, the Seine River flows north-northwest into the English Channel, and we're finding other water anomalies up in this part of the world. In fact, I just got some new pictures from a couple of 100 miles away up in, take you right to it, this area here. So I say we're officially in both hemispheres. We've been seeing the majority of the water anomalies in the western hemisphere. Now we're in the eastern hemisphere. Margate, Kent, UK. Let me take this grid off so we can see it a little clearer. I've got pictures from this area right here. Young lady sent them to me yesterday, has lived in this area her entire life and has never seen the water completely gone. And I'm going to show you the pictures that she shared with me here in just a moment. But I went here on Google Earth, and I did see what looks like an abundance of sand. So it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it's kind to, I don't know, we're seeing a pattern now. This is a global phenomenon. Water is retreating away from coastlines all over the globe. I've got several pictures to share with you from a few from the past and then some new ones that I just received from this area here. But as the crow flies, it's about 200 miles, a little over 200 miles from the Seine River where it's flooding right in here. In fact, I'll measure it real quick while we're here. Miles, river. Oops, got it on yards. We want miles. 152 miles. So it's not that far from the heavy flooding in Paris, France. Real quick, while we're here, this is also in France. Looks like we're seeing more sand along this coastline than what I would consider normal. Why is the coast way up here and all of this is sand with a few streams of water running through it, and then you go out to the ocean? So it just looks like that there could be some water missing from there also. But let's get right to the pictures. Here we go. This is from the Mississippi River. I'm just trying to keep things in perspective so we're all on the same page. Mississippi River, this was in the fall of last year. It's done this multiple times in the area above the New Madrid Fault Zone. This is Chester, Illinois. This was sent in by Robert from January 22nd. He drew a line on the picture to show his recollection in 60 years of living in this same area Much like the young lady that sent the pictures from the UK that I'm about to show you. She has lived in that location her entire life, like this man here has lived in this location his entire life. The red line that you see on the Mississippi River, this is at Chester, Illinois, is the lowest he ever recalls the river ever being. And you can see it's many, many feet lower than he ever recalls it being. So the locals, in my opinion, are the ones to talk to. So again, he's not taking pictures of this because it looks normal. Here's another perspective of it, and you can see over on the right side of the bridge, and the left side is very, very low, obviously low. This is out of Pennsylvania, Lake Pocono. Our friend Conrad sent this back in October of 2017 when we first kind of started noticing these water anomalies popping up at different places around the world. This is a freshwater lake, much like the Mississippi is a freshwater river. And here's another look at the Mississippi. This is at Caruthersville, Missouri. Our friend Brian from Navarre, Florida. He's lived here for 27 years. Never seen the coastline look like this. This is in the Florida Panhandle. I'm going to throw some more pictures up here. I've got so many that it's going to be difficult to keep them straight. So I'm going to kind of bounce around a little bit. This is up in the UK. I think this is France flooding. Now this is 7 inches of rain, a little over 7 inches of rain in a few weeks. It's just, I don't know. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. This is off the coast of France, and you can see it does look like an absence of water around this. Looks like a historic castle of some sort. And no water. More sand than anything. Same area, just a different perspective, a little closer to the ground. That's just some sort of a reflective anomaly. Nothing to see there. This is in Ecuador. Our friend Jose sent this to us back around the 1st of the month. Clearly a absence of water. This is a canal / large creek that runs through a community in Pennsylvania. And less than a week ago, this creek was running backwards. And as it corrected itself and began to run the opposite direction, or its normal direction, it created a mini tsunami in the middle of this community in Pennsylvania. I'll have to look up the name. I can put it in the description box. I can't think of it right off the top of my head. This is a shoreline in southern Mexico, and you can see there's boats sitting over here in the sand as the water has thinned out. Not a complete retreat like we've seen in a lot of places, but you can see the tide is way south of the shoreline, and the boats are sitting in the sand. And that's the thing about these boats. When they're sitting in the sand like that, they can hit rocks. When they go down, they can be damaged to where they could no longer have buoyancy, where they don't float. So a lot of these anomalies that we're seeing, many boats sitting on dry, like right here, for instance, you know, this bay could be full of sharp boulders that could puncture the bottom of these boats. So if this were something that would happen on a regular basis, people would not be parking their boats in there. They would find someplace else to park them. So you got to keep that in mind too. It just doesn't happen all the time. Here's another look at the unexpected tsunami down in Ecuador. Again, our friend Jose shared this video with us. Water coming clear into the middle of town, surprising locals with a small tsunami. Again, that's Ecuador in northeastern South America. Okay, now we're going to get to some of the newer pictures that were sent in by a young lady that lives over in Margate, Kent, England. This is the correspondence that she sent to me. Hello, below I have attached a few pictures of a tidal pool situated upon the main sands here in Margate, Kent, England. Lived here my entire life and spend a lot of time on the beach. This is the first time I have ever seen this tidal pool without seawater. So this is affecting not only freshwater, but seawater. A tidal pool retains the seawater when the tide goes out. That's its purpose. However, I noticed the water had vanished and tide was further out than I'd ever previously seen it before. I'm not sure if this could be related to what's going on globally, where water has vanished from coastal areas, but she's been noticing a lot of different anomalies in general, not only just the water anomalies. And here's some of the pictures she sent. And you can clearly see why she's out here taking pictures. The water has just completely vanished from this area. And it is on Google Earth right here. Southeast UK. This area here. Here's some more pictures. Water completely gone. Bone dry. And I guess it disappeared rather quickly. Here's another picture, and you can see that pool and the water's just gone. It vanished very quickly. Here's another look at it. Water gone. And you can see water doesn't normally leave this area with the algae and different things growing along the side of that wall, that seawall. And that's, like she said, that's its purpose, is to retain the water during low tides. And it went way out and the water completely disappeared. So another new water anomaly showing up, this time in southeastern England. If you guys have seen any water disappearance, like our friend Brian noticed in Navarre, Florida, by all means, send a picture if it's not an inconvenience to reports at MrMBB333.com. But we're seeing this more and more now around the world, now in both hemispheres this has been observed. And the newest location is in Margate, Kent, UK, where there's a clear absence of water from a young lady that's lived there her entire life and has never seen what she saw the other day. Much like Brian, who lives here in Navarre, Florida, 27 years. Never seen anything like it. This young lady's lived here her entire life. Never seen this phenomenon happen. So there's clearly something going on with the water, coastal waters and river waters, water in general on planet Earth. And haven't quite figured out exactly what's going on, but we're trying to, and we're keeping a close eye on it. We're seeing many tsunamis and water retreats in extreme fashion now in both the western and eastern hemisphere. Thanks for watching, guys. And again, if you see water anomalies, take a pic if it's not an inconvenience and send it to reports at MrMBB333.com. And I want to thank all of you guys that do send in pictures. It's greatly appreciated. Both sky pictures and water anomalies. They're always welcome. Thanks for watching, and be safe out there, guys.